Every one of my records means something. The label, the producer, the year it was made.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Mr. McConnell has joined the podcast. How are you, Joe?
Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good. We just got done listening to a record. Actually, we listened to "Changes" by Neil Francis.
Okay.
So I encourage you to listen to that. But yeah, we're just gonna get to an EP, an Atmosphere EP that Jake has, and then we figured if you've got anything, ready to rock and roll, we can do that as well. So
Sounds good. Who's Neil Francis? Can you give me a little background of who he is?
He's an artist. Their album's a 2019 album. He's a funk artist, dude. It's an incredible.
yeah, so that was one of the ones. That was one of the records that Coal Mine Records sent me. They sent me 3 records. So yeah, I hadn't heard of him before, but yeah, like Jake said, just a funk album. It was cool. We've heard elements of funk before, certainly on the Record Night podcast, but that was definitely the first record that was it was exclusively just a funk record, So it was,
cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the songs. Reminded me of "Lowrider" by War. It had that kind of vibe to it.
War. Yeah, I know that band. Oh.
It had that kind of vibe. Maybe it's
okay.
A little less
like a Santana kind of feel, Santana.
As far as the guy's voice, maybe just it had that funk.
70s.
Yeah.
70s. Car Wash.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of different. I hate to do that to new artists who bring an old sound back. I hate to be like, well, it just sounds like the 70s, but it gives you that sort of nostalgic feeling, because that sound is just not really around anymore. Outside of I wasn't familiar with this guy before, but
yeah. I think the only guy that really does it now is Bruno Mars. Sometimes he'll bring in a funky kind of song.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainstream, and he's super mainstream.
It's funny you bring him up though, because he's Bruno Mars is the one guy I'll kind of cite as a mainstream guy that I think is that I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he has talent for sure. From day one, you could realize he had talent. I forget what his first hit was. It might have been that Grenade song, or maybe there was something else. But it's okay, this guy's pretty good, and then he just blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Uptown Funk was the most popular song of the 2010s or something like that, or whatever.
You couldn't get away from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jake and I have checked in. How you doing, Joe? Weird times we're living in. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Still working. Everything's good. I got 2 new records.
Oh, nice. No, what'd you get?
I'll show you. I'll do the old Collin late night.
Yes.
So the first one I got is, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh,
nice.
Fleetwood Mac. So this is just a Fleetwood Mac. It's just called Fleetwood Mac. And this one's got Rihanna on it and Landslide.
Okay. So you had Rumors, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so this is the one. It's got a similar cover, right?
Yeah, they're both white covers with or black and white covers. But this one's on white vinyl, which is really cool.
A lot of cool vinyl, colored vinyls lately.
Yeah. So that's my 4th colored vinyl.
Nice.
And then I got this album.
Oh, wait a minute! Abbey Road. Wait a second.
Abbey Road.
Wow.
The Beatles. So
amazing.
We'll eventually get into that. And that one has Come Together and Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm blown away right now. I just got all this chemicals pumped directly into my brain. All this
Energy
just filled my brain.
Energy for men.
See, the thing for me is, I love Abbey Road. But I'm not too familiar with the Beatles. I am the way everybody is, I guess. But I'm trying to I know I love Abbey Road, and that was their last record that they released, I believe. or Let It Be. I think Abbey Road was recorded last, but they released them out of order or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to like familiarize myself with the Beatles and kind of work my way up to, the end. But yeah, I know I love Abbey Road. It's a terrific record.
Mm-hmm.
Come Together is like one of my favorite songs. I'm hearing on 98.5.
Here Comes the Sun is a great song also.
Yes.
Also just a very, I don't know, it's very nice, very chill song.
It's interesting. That's what my dad always said that Here Comes the Sun was his favorite
Really?
Beatles song. Yeah.
Mine would have to be Eleanor Rigby. You know that song?
Oh
Eleanor
yeah.
Rigby.
That's on Sgt. Pepper's, I think, right?
I believe
Maybe.
so.
I don't know, but it's a good song.
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of great songs. It's hard to just pick one.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I shared it in the podcast before, but based on Jake and I's recent podcast, I picked up Brother Ali's
Nice.
Us. I'm such a huge fan, I had to have it. So
How'd you get that so fast?
Rhymesayers, just on their website, they sell it directly. So I just
Wow.
ordered it a few days after we did the podcast, and I got it. So
Nice. Yeah, because Amazon seems real slow, like with orders and stuff like that. Because I got Jeff an album for his birthday. My brother, I got him a Genesis album that he didn't have, and it's called "And Then There Were Three." That's the album, but it's not going to come in. It's still, and his birthday was in March, and it still hasn't come yet. So.
oh wow.
So I've been trying to avoid Amazon.
Yeah. So when Jake and I listened to Brother Ali, obviously I was a huge fan and I purchased the record as a result of it, but the record was produced by Ant of Atmosphere. So it really kind of had me wanting to listen to Atmosphere again. And so it's perfect. That's what Jake picked, is an EP. So Jake, if you just want to kind of talk about how that came about a little bit again.
Yeah, I'll just go over it. So, Joe, this is actually the first record that I ever got for my my record player.
Wow.
I got it for Christmas one year. My brother-in-law had handed down his dad's record player to me. I think it's like an '89 Sony or something like that. It's not rare or anything. There's thousands of them out there, but that was really cool. I just like the nostalgic feel of it. And then this was in my stocking that same year for Christmas. This is Atmosphere. It's called Frida Kahlo versus Ezra Pound. I don't know who these people are, but basically between two of their last more recent LPs, they released a lot of YouTube singles, like in between those, and then after they finally released that LP, a few months later, they took all those singles that they had released and kind of combined them into one EP. So that's what we're listening to today. Yeah, so I got this record. They released it in between two LPs. They had a bunch of YouTube singles. They had a bunch of... Anyways, viewers, I forgot to press record, so I'm gonna say this for the third time. That's why we're all laughing. So they released this album. It's actually a collection of singles that they released on YouTube between two of their latest LPs. So they were so popular, they decided to release them as a full album.
Now, were you following along to the YouTube singles as they were released and everything like that?
Yep,
okay.
They were on Atmosphere's YouTube channel like every couple of months or so. So I knew them, and once the record was released, I think I mentioned it to my brother and just in passing, and it ended up in my stocking for the Christmas after it was released. So I got lucky.
Nice.
So where does that rank as far as like gifts you've received for Christmas? I mean, like that'd be pretty cool.
Up there, it was cool because I got the record player earlier that year, so really I consider like the record player on my first record was the gift I got. So that was neat.
And those were the first records that you've actually spun on that record player for yourself?
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Colin, can you remember your first one that you've played? It was probably a Warren Zevon, right?
Yeah, I really don't remember. I mean, probably, but yeah, I'm not sure.
don't think I can remember either.
It might have just been one that, like, a cheap one that I got. You know what I mean, at the bookstore or something first. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember like my first like purchases, like what were. Maybe that Bob Dylan album. Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
You boys ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, here we go.
I never had those finer things in life. I never worry about a thing in life. I never had those finer things in life. I never worry about a thing in life. It's just her and me and some cheap balloons. Turn the key and sing the tunes. The full moon look like a macaroon. I feel invisible till the afternoon, but everybody wanna catch a star to try to recharge that electric spark. Crash a car and set it in park, and she'll smash a ceramic heart like a dead guitar. No spotlight, not the type that needs vacancy to occupy. Gotta put that rabbit back into the magic act. Astronauts, but the launch a Cadillac. I never worry about a thing, 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 about a thing.
Oh no. We get the idea, I guess. That was right toward the end there.
Was there like a scratch on it?
Jake, you're muted.
Might have been. I was telling Collin.
Yeah.
These have taken spills out of the case a couple times.
Oh.
Here's the artwork. So.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if you if Joe was on when you were talking about it, that the so each song is its own little record, and then the B side of it is just the instrumental of the track.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wait, I think that'd be really cool because like part of the thing with Atmosphere I like is their production. I love the samples and stuff they use, so I think just the instrumental tracks would be cool just to listen to on their own, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say like like in that first track, the production was really good. And I forgot, I haven't heard Atmosphere in a while. I kind of forgot how we sound. I'm like, oh, okay, Atmosphere. Now I remember.
Well, so Atmosphere is Jake. It's Ant and Slug. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Ant is the producer, and then Slug is
Okay.
the one rapping.
Okay, so
See, I never knew that. I thought his name was Atmosphere.
yeah, me too initially, but okay, so in that song, Jake, I had the lyrics pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
So we had, let me find where it is. Okay, so it was Slug. So we had a rhyme in the song. We had balloon and macaroon rhymed, and we've heard that before, not on the podcast, but we've heard an artist rhyme balloon and macaroon. Who was it?
Randy Newman.
Of course. Yeah. That over there is a red balloon. This little cookie here is a macaroon. Yeah.
This little cookie here's a macaroon. That big round thing's a red balloon.
So that jumped out to me immediately.
Maybe Slug is a Randy Newman fan.
Well, he should be.
Easter egg.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't, right?
All right, so this next one is called This Lonely Rose. And this is actually the first we'll hear of two artists. This features Aesop Rock and Blueprint. So,
Nice.
Oh,
I
nice.
really like this song. The instrumental's really good.
Refresh me on Blueprint.
Blueprint
what-
wrote like Radio Inactive.
He's from Columbus, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, gotcha.
And shouts
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
Brent and Aesop. Both two really good artists.
Was he ever on like any Tony Hawk soundtracks or anything?
I don't
Blueprint?
think so.
Okay.
I'ma go all in, got it under control, but till I grow my fins, I'm still plugging my nose. No surprise, stolen by the tide, you could close your eyes, but the hope stay alive, and the crow gonna fly, and the dope gets sold. Other than that, there's really not much to know. Don't cut this rose.
This lonely rose, with thorns to show, it grows alone, too hard to hold.
When small things end up being gigantic, relationships go the way of the Titanic. Why panic? Have some fun while it lasts. Be happy that you even had a spot on the cast. She hard to keep cause she know what men about. It just took you too long before you figured it out. Moving fast don't mean it won't end quick. Why put your toes in when you can skinny dip? Remember when you with the prettiest chick? There's another man that's sick of putting up with his shit.
Experimental magic in the key of lemon Warrigo. Nothing up his sleeve, not even a fucking arm. Your body in a temple if it's disassembled parts. Allocated in a separate level warp. Send a Morse tell kept severing a pell-mell dash melting. Squeegee in a post to a cheesecloth silk strand evenly. East Coast hill kings raised by servals. Pacing at the grapevine nervous. Poke jarred brain matter adequately curious. Pick a perfect Pepsi, herd him back into the turn-up truck. Where a high art poses and opals. And fine Yeti fur with a dire prognosis. He prefer to mire with the openly grotesque. Over any cold disco tech, coat check, oh my. Low tech, bolt neck, go time, no myth. I'm a slow death gold mine.
Too hard to hold, 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 too hard to hold.
Yeah, man. What'd you think about that last Aesop verse? Guess what I thought? Nothing, because I only caught like 3 lines that I could do.
Yeah, it's dense.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
same.
I thought it was a funny line. He says something about his personality. He says he's got nothing up the sleeve, not even
Yeah.
a fucking arm.
Not even an arm. Yeah, that was the only one I caught, and the rest of it was just like over my head.
Well, again, I'm not familiar with Aesop Rock, so that opening line, there's a temperamental magic to the key of love and war. I was like, okay, like this, this guy, Jake, you kind of alluded to it before. In terms of he's got like dense lyrics, and that it was apparent right away. So
Yeah, someone did I forget if it was like Hip Hop DX or one of those like magazines.
Yeah.
They did like I don't know what you would even call it, but basically they were trying to
Like
find
a lyric.
who is the most like who has the most like the biggest vocabulary in hip hop. And I know A$AP Rock was like up there, like as one of the
Like the
best.
top one was like, it was like MF Doom or someone like
Yeah.
here, and then like on the chart, they were here like A$AP Rock was in top place like up here, like he was the most. So they did it by like the sounds that come out of the mouth. They were able to determine what syllables there are. I think that's how they actually ended up analyzing it. But he was like over twice the amount of syllables and vocabulary of the guy in second place.
are you guys familiar with Pharaoh Monk?
Yeah.
Homage.
Yeah, Pharaoh
Okay.
Monch, yeah.
Okay. I was watching our brother Ali interview, and he shouted him out. So
Yeah, he's really good also.
he painted him as a guy who's another like lyrically interesting.
Yeah, he's like your rapper's favorite rapper
Yep.
Okay.
kind of guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Same as like an MF Doom or something like that. Like
Let me just ask your guys' personal opinion, because this came up when in the Brother Ali interview. I was talking about, where does Eminem stack up for you guys, like in the grand scheme of things? Do you think of him highly or no?
I used to love Eminem. Like Eminem was got me into hip hop because I saw someone that looked like me.
Yeah.
This is before I knew about like the Beastie Boys and stuff like that. But and yeah, I used to really like him. Like I had his albums and stuff. And but like once he started going at like MGK, and I just thought it was very childish, and it's like they're both adults here, and I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, lyrically, he's one of the best.
He's responsible for bringing like people like Royce the 5'9" too. He's
Oh,
definitely.
I love
That I'm a
Royce.
huge
Royce
fan
is
of
so
his
good.
music, but then again, I haven't heard really much other than what's been on the radio, so I can't really judge his music. As far as his catalogs, like I don't have an in-depth enough understanding of his music to make a judgment, but
Yeah,
he's really good. All his like obviously he's a chopper. Like I like Tech Nine, so obviously I'm gonna be drawn to someone like Eminem, who like broke the Guinness World Record and shit. But
yeah, rap god.
yeah, he's insane freestyler. He's really talented. But as far as I almost respect him more with his like skill level and his ability to like freestyle and his battle history and what he's done for the culture more so than his catalog of music, I'd say. You know, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's
catalog.
I think that's a little bit like the Beatles and some. That's how some people feel about the Beatles or even Bob Dylan. Like if you don't appreciate their music necessarily, like you at least have to appreciate the impact and the influence that they had on, music after them.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, just since you're familiar with as going back to the Atmosphere songs we just listened to, do you have any kind of thoughts about the first two songs, like or?
I mean, I really like the second song, especially. I think they did a really good job production-wise. That might have been Blueprint on that track, actually, doing the production. I don't know.
Oh, producing it, yeah.
Yeah, because Blueprint's actually a really good producer. And actually, for our listeners, if you like hip-hop, listen to Super Duty Tough Work. That's Blueprint's podcast. It's a really good podcast.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, he's really talented artist. I actually just bought a record of his. He just released a record. I haven't got to it yet, so that might be something I do tonight or tomorrow. But overall, not a particularly amazing start to the record, but I really like that second track, and I like the third track as well.
It looks like Ant. It just says Ant produced it.
Oh, really?
Lonely Rose, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I love these guys because they bring scratching.
Yeah,
I love scratching in hip hop. I think it is.
Art, dude.
I wish it was still in hip hop. And
Styling and like they used to have Blaze Battle. A lot of the artists that are older, like in their 30s and stuff, that I like listen to now, like when you were coming up, like unless you had like won Blaze Battles or like had street cred, like you didn't really get a pass in hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you had to do the groundwork before you. Now you just have to have like an image and a sound.
Yeah.
And you can make it big. It's different.
All right, I'm gonna crack open a nitro stout here, and then we'll start the next track, which is My Best Half. This is a good one.
Yeah, the last album I heard scratching in was that Gangstar. The posthumous release.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the best yet.
That was such a good one. I don't know what you said.
You said it was an amazing record.
Oh, it was.
That was an amazing record.
Yeah, so the story behind that one, Colin, is so Guru was a rapper and he passed away. He died he had like leukemia or some type of cancer or something. Died.
Okay.
His DJ, kind of like how these two guys are, Ant and who's the other guy? Ant and
Slug.
It was DJ Premier and Guru. Guru died, and for some reason, Guru left basically a lot of unreleased music to a friend of his, and the friend was holding on to this music. He wouldn't give it out to someone to make it into like a record. And finally, after court battles and stuff like that, DJ Premier ended up getting those songs, unreleased tracks from this friend, and he basically bought them out, and he took those songs and went through and made a whole new album out of all these unreleased stuff, made new beats and everything for it.
Oh wow!
And put out this album. I think it was either early this year or last year. He put it out, and it's awesome. J. Cole is a feature on one of them.
Wow!
On that record, he curated artists who he felt like gelled really well, who would have been making music with Guru had he been alive. really culture oriented. Because if you know anything about Primo, he's like all about the culture. He's not just he's obviously super famous. You know what I mean? I actually was blessed to be able to see him live with Royce the 5'9". I saw them live at the Grog Shop.
What an amazing show that was.
Amazing.
Wow.
Probably, like in my opinion, like the best DJ to ever do it. And then Royce the 5'9" is one of the best rappers to ever do it. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, he's just killing it.
Yep.
That's another guy where you might not respect his like artistry, but you got to respect his catalog, or vice versa.
Yeah. He's amazing. Well, without further ado, here's my best half. Let's keep it moving.
Nice.
The first time I met my wife was on a Wednesday night. Making party in a German bar. Merce was there, the rap off at the gas off. Check it out, true story. I'm just a songwriter, I'm not a wrong writer, but I'm alive and I'm proof. Survival ain't exclusive to the strong. We all trying to keep it calm, so this goes to anyone who sings along. Come on, I never said I'm the best. I can't watch my step when I'm watching you step. But baby, I'ma do my best. You got me under your spell like I was under arrest. And I ain't never said I'm the best. No special effects, I wanna touch your flesh. She made me wait a couple months for some sex. Merce wasn't there. Know what it's about, or maybe we still trying to figure it out, or maybe it doesn't matter. We couldn't care a lesser amount.
Short and sweet.
Okay, so the first thing I have to say, I've been thinking this since the first time we ever listened to Atmosphere. Slug sounds like LL Cool J. Does anybody else make that comparison?
Does he?
No.
Well, hey, I'm gonna splice it in. Every time it reminds me of LL Cool J. Like, I'm trying to think of the
like
song.
his like delivery, like the way he.
Yeah, just the way he sounds. Like,
okay.
I'm trying to think of the song. Like,
I want love that.
Yeah, I need love. Yeah, it's a real goofy song, but yeah, like his.
Romance, sheer delight, how sweet. I gotta find me a girl to make my life complete. You can scratch my back, we'll get cozy and huddle. I'll lay down my jacket so you can walk over a puddle. I give you a rose, pull out your chair before we eat. Kiss you on the cheek and say, ooh girl, you're so sweet.
His delivery sounds the same.
Even goofier music video.
Oh yeah. That's what makes it. That's the whole thing.
I need love.
LL
Cool J though. It's one of the best. That's like Eminem's one of his favorite rappers is LL Cool J.
Well, he was certainly early on, Boys. Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, early on for sure. Go back to like record sales and all that. He was like the top of the top.
Jake, any thoughts on that one in particular?
I just think it's a funny song. I like it when he's talking about how they first met, and he's like, "I met my wife at a German bar. Merce was there,"
mm-hmm.
and then in the second verse, he's like, "She made me wait a couple months for some sex. Merce wasn't there."
Yeah.
He's just goofy. I love Slug. He's got a good sense of humor.
Shout out to Merce.
Yep.
You don't have any of his albums?
I have a lot of his albums. I have a couple, like 3 of his albums, like released on Strange Music, Tech Nine's label. He was signed to them for a few years, and then I have a couple of his albums just that he released as a kind of a solo venture.
Nice. John Cena is featured on one of his albums.
Oh, that's cool.
Or one of his songs.
Whoa.
He raps. Pretty funny. It actually came out somewhat recently.
Yeah, Mercer's a cool guy. I like watching a lot of his interviews on.
Yeah, he's really smart.
Yeah, he is.
One comment I had on that song was I forget what the line was, but something about special effects. I just want to touch you, Brother Ali. Has a song called "Special Effects" on "All the Beauty and Soul Life," which was had a similar. The idea of the song was similar.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if they were released around the same time.
Yeah.
Hanging out and just vibed off each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, ready for the next one?
Yeah. Let's do it.
We got Salma Hayek.
And you right. 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 Flows before flip phones, back when it wasn't cool to rap about sniffing coke. And you right. It might be a shit show, but you ain't fucking with this, bro. Your Wi-Fi got no signal. Wi-Fi sucking on my biggest toe, and now I'm all up in harmony in the middle. And I ain't even have to disrobe. I keep my boxers on and use the dick hole. Roll the window down and feel the wind blow. Mama in the back of the Honda, getting hot as a disco. I'm slicker than a goldfish swimming in a fishbowl full of Crisco. Yo, it's officially official. You better get your tickets if we hitting your zip code. Are you right? Are you right? I'm Salma Hayek on the Mississippi River in a stolen kayak. Live fast like my life's in a time lapse. I'm so fly, I'm attracted to fly traps. Get your mind out the trash, or at least you should line it with a bag tied up to keep the live bacteria gagged to a minimal stack. It's a fixable flat, the sideline to get you sidetracked. Are you right? 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 You right?
I thought the production on that track was amazing. The way it was cutting out there at the end, that was incredible. You're muted, Jake.
It's weird because it always happens on the inner circle of the record, like as it gets close to the end. So I'm wondering if it's just a weird, like, a record player's old. It could very well be the record player.
Ah.
Especially since it's at the same spot every time.
Interesting.
But that one song went through all the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was just wondering how he was going to rap, how he was going to rhyme Hayek. And you rhymed it with kayak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how's it?
It's so different from the other record, because the other record was like all these serious topics like drug use and all this other stuff, and he's just having fun here. That's all this is.
That was my favorite record so far, just because he was having fun. Yeah, the first three had like a lot of serious like subject matter in it. My best half was a little funny too.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like the actually like When Life Gives You Lemons, like the full LP I brought. Compared to that, it's totally different.
Right.
That's a good point. You know, what I said after we got done listening to Brother Ali, what I said was, I'm surprised that Brother Ali is like underground, so to speak. Like, I just think his shit sounds good. Like, I don't know. It sounds like people would listen to it. You know, like, I understand why. I'm trying to think, like, even Tech Nine or like Immortal Technique. Like, I understand. Or even like a Blueprint, like they're underground. I get how that's like a specific sound, but Brother Ali to me sounds like radio friendly, you know, for lack of a better term. And Atmosphere is kind of the same way, but I feel like Atmosphere is a little bit more popular. I certainly know people that like Atmosphere, you know.
They're one of them. Like, when you think underground rap, like they were one of the pioneering underground record labels. Like them and Strange Music were the first. People say what was underground rap like in the 90s, they'd say, "Oh, it's Atmosphere, Tech Nine," that like late 90s, early 2000s. So
Yeah.
So this next song called "Trying to Fly," featuring Eric Mayson. I'm not sure who that is, but probably the singer, the backing vocalist. But this is a little bit more serious, so we're gonna change pace a little bit here.
Yeah, to go off of that underground thing, I mean, you got to remember back in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, all hip hop was underground. I mean, you could only hear it at like midnight on like one, radio station out of like New York.
Yeah.
That was like the only time you could hear like hip hop music, and then it broke mainstream. With the help of like Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and Public Enemy and guys like that, kind of broke it. NWA, they broke it mainstream. Tupac, Biggie, stuff like that.
Yeah, Jake made a good point during the Brother Ali podcast. Is like, we have like on the radio we have 98.5, for instance. Like you can listen to classic rock, and then you can listen to more modern rock on like maybe 100.7 or whatever. But you don't really like, as far as like rap, like you have 107.9, but that's just what's currently out there. You don't. There's not really like a classic rap hip hop station, like where you can hear
that's true.
The history of it.
Unless you have like a Sirius satellite radio or one of those kind of things, you could probably find some old school hip hop like station. Mm-hmm. But I think actual like regular radio is pretty much dead. I mean, if you think about it, it's all there to sell advertising. That's all it is. TV too. TV is the same thing. Commercials. It's to sell commercials. It's to draw people in to watch this show or listen to the station, and then pump commercials at you.
It's definitely outdated.
It is.
All right, ready, boys?
Yep.
Ready.
What's this one called?
This one's called "Trying to Fly."
Familiar with the frustration. To say we stay sedated, it's an understatement. Look alive, life is a celebration. We would like to use your current location. Lost faith after the first rotation and gave it back to the dirt like it wasn't worth saving. And oh Lord, if I wasn't so bored, I'd have already poured this bottle on the floor. Yeah, right, we ain't spilling the drop. About to get so hot that we feel like gods. And I don't even know why. Time ain't cheap, but I know why. It's what I need, I can't buy. You're trying to sleep, I'm trying to fly. But life goes on, and so do I. Never let the legs break beneath the heavy weight. Gotta spray a little paint on this designated negative space. And I don't even know why, but I'm committed to leaving you with a valid and vivid impression. We can separate the pain from the message, but state of mind still in a state of corrections. And I don't even know why.
Muted.
I'll just pull up the song and you can play it on the Google Play Music, and then you can edit it. Like just do a.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Sure.
I like that whole line about like trying to find a runway, like trying to leave, and like he's like sick of shoveling flakes, and he wants to go to like a beach. Like he's just trying to get away. They're trying to go on vacation, like because aren't they from like Minnesota or something? Up there?
They are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So they probably get some crazy winter storms up there.
We're gonna finish the song because it's just that guy has a good voice, and I wanted to hear that. There's a good production run at the end of the song that's worth listening to.
Yeah.
All right, so that was "Trying to Fly."
Trying to fly, life goes on, and so do I. Even though I know nowadays I should probably have found a method to count my ways. I'm trying to leave the runway, confident I need to go surround myself with sun rays. Life's too short to keep shoveling flakes. I walk into the water till I'm covered in waves.
Wow.
Yep. I definitely wanted you guys to hear. That's why I was so disappointed when it started skipping, because I wanted you guys to hear that sample.
That was like some Genesis, like kind of.
Yes. Yeah, in the air
Phil
tonight.
Collins in the air tonight.
That's what that was. Not exactly, but yeah, pretty much.
Close. It was close. I liked what was it? State of mind. It's still in state of corrections.
Yep.
You know, it's like
he hasn't recovered from his. He's not been rehabilitated.
But state of correction is also like prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your mind's still in prison, but it still needs fixed. Like it's a double meaning, like corrections and correction. A correctional officer and then like correcting something.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. It was perfect the way you played the end, because that you kind of started it right at the line that Joe had referenced about the runway and
shoveling flake. Yeah. And then going into the lake and having the waves crash over him. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of double meaning, it's super dense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so finally we got, leaving it off on another upbeat note, we've got Windows featuring Prof. So.
What about Fireflies? Is that?
Oh, yeah, Fireflies. I forgot about Fireflies.
Oh, yeah, Fireflies.
Well, all right, next song is Fireflies.
You just want to listen to the one by
Owl City? Because I can't believe your eyes.
Yeah.
The 10,000 fireflies.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is Fireflies featuring Grieves, actually. Here we go.
You're just another superstar. Everybody gets to shine at the hotel bar with the fireflies that fell in the jar. Ain't even trying to get free. Buzzing around is fine with me. That's why I keep one eye on the clock, the other eye on my drink. Make it link like a lock, the timing is key. Got my hands tied up, still climbing this tree. So can't none judge what my crisis might be. Everything will even out when I finally sleep. Tipsy, dreaming about being a pirate at sea. Aight, so quit trying to micromanage my emotions. Keep the glass half full and keep the tab open. Last call for alcohol protocol. The television that's attached to the wall. Let's show a basketball game with the volume off. And I don't know who's playing, but I know I'm not. It goes, I feel like a firefly. I chase all the fireflies.
It doesn't matter what you think. Either way, it's all relative. The buzzing from the neon lights is like a sedative. I follow it into outer space like an Apollo ship. Coasting off the bottom shelf booze and the Klonopin. I'm lost. Wrote my room number on the file. Put $1 in the jukebox. Ordered up a shot. Now everything is frozen, just floating, flickering dots as we fade into the night without ever giving a thought. But that's the idea. We don't come for the atmosphere. The food's shitty, the cable's blurred, but I'm happy here. We're all alone, but ain't nobody keeping tabs there. Cause misery's a meal that's served better with a glass of beer. Yeah, so fill it up and let me soak. Smelling like whiskey and complimentary soap. It's the same 4 walls in every city I go. Surrounded by fireflies, just trying to find that glow.
I feel like a firefly. I chase all the fireflies.
All right, what'd you think?
That was a good song.
Very interesting, yeah.
I think my favorite line in that is like, he's just kind of painting the picture of the bar he's at. Like, you know, the bartender got her sleeves rolled up. He says there's a television attached to the wall with a basketball game, and I don't know who's playing, but I know I'm not. Like, it's just a good way to like. It's an interesting way to feel like to illustrate like the feeling of like being lonely or unimportant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I know about this basketball game and all these famous guys is that they're doing that, and I'm fucking here at the bar. You know what I mean? It's really good writing. That's classic Slug, like, paint a picture of your emotions type writing that he's known for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could picture that whole thing. I came at a bar, and just all the bar, like, kind of references throughout the song were really good. Something about having a glass of whiskey and a basket of salt. Like, you know how they give you, like, compliment, like, pretzels, like, at a bar?
So
and that's supposed to...
all the pretzels up,
Yeah, because then the salt is supposed to make you drink more. Because the salt makes your mouth dry. It's like a trick they play.
The comparison, the bar stuff was really vivid. Like, you can imagine being in a bar, and he has the line like you said about the basketball game. I don't know who's playing, but I know I'm not. And then the chorus just goes right. I feel like a firefly. I chase all the fireflies. I feel like a firefly. You know, just that kind of that caught in between. Just went right with it. It was really good.
All right, shall we play the final track now?
Yeah,
sure.
All right, this is Windows featuring Prof.
So who's Prof?
He's actually really well known in Minnesota. He's like a college hip hop artist. He's like a party vibe kind of hip hop artist, and
like an Asher Roth type dude. Remember Asher Roth?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think he's better than Asher Roth. But
yeah, for sure.
He's fun. He's a really funny guy. His music videos are hilarious.
Or like a Little Dicky. You ever heard of Little Dicky?
Sort of, not quite as like intentionally humorous, but like,
gotcha.
It's funny still. Like, you could tell he's a goofball. I like him a lot.
Everybody shut up. I think you've had too much to speak. Give me the keys, plug the leak, or go take a little step off something steep. I might be a fuck up, but I wanna do splendid things. I mean, I want somebody to remember me and maybe drive me around in a limousine. I'm just joking. I'd rather drive myself, rather fly myself. Most time, rather be all by myself. A party of one, and I keep going for as long as the arteries pump. Don't start no junk. I'm not a thug, but I'm hardly a punk. And if it ain't the hard part of the month, throw your hands in the sky, sing the harmony once. Shut your pretty mouth. I got a window in my car. I can see it all. I don't trust a motherfucker one bit though. Go ahead, breathe with no regrets. Life's too brief to be so upset. Gotta take the loss and plead the fifth. Sometimes the world will make you eat that shit. Gonna jump like a kangaroo, break out of the zoo. Let the universe know that you made it through. Stay true to your name and crew, but watch what you say and who you say it to. This motherfucker one bit though, and it go.
That's it.
Well, all right.
Yeah, the EP's full of fun tracks. It's definitely mainly like a really lighthearted kind of record. Besides like that one song, "Trying to Fly" and "Fireflies," probably.
Yeah.
Good like breaks in between. 2 of 7 are like sad, and all the rest are really upbeat and humorous.
Yeah, Fireflies was my favorite song out of all those.
It was a good song.
Yeah, same.
And then Salma Hayek would be number 2. And then probably My Best Half would be 3.
Yeah, that was.
If I had to pick 3.
That's a good time.
Oh, actually, Trying to Fly. I like Trying to Fly. That was my favorite, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that Colin. I knew you'd like that one because of the guitar and the usage of the guitar in the back. That was really like prevalent in that.
Oh, that was the one with the Phil Collins.
Yep. I'm a sucker for that. Like, that's why I like Ant's production is like a lot of the like backing tracks he uses, like guitar based, which I'm a huge fan of. But really, just the samples in general are just terrific. I love the music that they integrate into what they're doing. It's I feel like it's definitely unique.
Mm. I could have used more scratching, but that's just me.
Yeah, that would have been yeah, especially with such a fun record. I think that would have livened it up even more.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple songs that had it.
Yeah, the beginning of that one. Yeah, my best half. Stupid.
Yeah, that was good.